Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel again. So we have already completed around 13 videos of QlikView series. So this will be the part 14th where we will be talking about chart objects in the QlikView sheet property. So we'll directly jump into it with an example of a dashboard so that it will be very clear for you guys. So this is a mock dashboard that I have created, and the backend dataset that is used here is a book fair sales and authors sort of data. If you remember in the previous video that I have showed you there. So if we go to table view, you can might be remember this, like we have something called book, rating, checkout, editions, author, award name. So you can visit my previous video to like get more clarity on it, like which dataset I am talking about here. So this is the dataset, and I have taught you about how to like read the names and everything. So one thing I can directly tell you, that if you want to load a dataset and if you want to merge two things, what you can do is take one column, put AND operator, put space and last name. So this is like merging first name last name as author name. So this one thing I might have missed in earlier video, so I have cleared it right now. So yep, this is very simple. And let's move to the chart property. So how you will able to get the chart property? So right click it, new sheet object, and there is something called chart. So you can directly click chart. There's a different bunch of charts are there. So widely used are something called bar graph, line chart, combo chart, gauge, pivot table and straight table. So we'll talk more about pivot table. So straight table is simple as table object that you have might seen in the previous video. So it's very similar to that, and it's interchangeable. So if you are starting with bar chart and if you want to change that chart into line chart, you can directly like select it like line chart, so it will directly convert it. You don't have to start again. So this is a list. If you remember, this is a list that we can use for sorting and like filtering out data. And if while clicking a filter list, the value input value is also changing. So not input value, this is something called text object. So we can, in text object, we can define some expressions here that how I have done it. So I am taking the price of $1 and I am taking the count of a price. So you can write expressions here so that it will be useful for you to utilize the different kind of sheet objects that you already have. So let's directly jump into the first one that we have to talk about, is a bar chart. So in this bar chart, what we have done is go to properties, and in general, if you see, we are using a bar chart. There is something called dimension and there is something called expression. So whatever you put in dimensions comes on your here x-axis. So award names comes into your x-axis, and if you put the expression, what I am doing is taking the count of award name, so that comes on your y-axis. And if you want to sort out like how I have done red and green, what you can do is just go to your count award, put a background color and put expression that if the count of award name is greater than 1, put it green, otherwise put it red. So it will do the work. And for this dotted line, what you can do is just go to this presentation tab and just put a reference line equals to 1. It will do the work. So it means that when the line is what, put a reference line, a dotted line. So it will put a reference dotted line here. And if you want to put values on top of the bar graph, just go to expression and just click this expression and put this value on the data point. So it will do your work. If I uncheck this and if I press apply, the data points are gone. You just have to apply it and press apply. So yeah, this is how exactly this bar chart has been made. So about this pivot table, so pivot table is nothing but it's basically a table, but it can be used as a compact form. So what does I mean about this is, if you go to let me check presentation. Yeah, if you go to presentation tab, there is something called always fully expanded. Just press apply and OK. Now you can see that there is something called plus values. We put minus. So if I put minus, it will like hide this thing. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me hide everything. So now you can see that this is for this only one title. We have this author name and this country. If I press plus, it will show the country name and the average rating and the count. So if I clear everything, now it will come back to normal. And if I want to expand this whole chart as it was there, again go to properties, like only fully expanded, and it will do the same work. So if you want to like show data group by sort of that for this title what are the author, and for this author what is the country, and for this country what's the rating, so on sort of that you can use this pivot table. And for this color coding, you again can go back here where you have used the expression, just go the expression tab. So I'm using the average rating here and taking the average of it. So just inside this count I'm taking this background color, take the count f equals to 1 and use the RGB color codes. So you can directly use red, green also, but I preferably use RGB codes because for the particular color shades that I like, so that you can use. And rather than that, you can define a RGB color as a variable so that you can use it again and again. That is also very preferable. And about this last chart, we have something called gauge chart here. So if you go to style, you can see that we have multiple style of gauge. So this is one I am using right now. So again, this is very similar to other charts. You can put dimensions, so I am putting, so you can put only one dimension here. So I am putting one dimension, and in expression you can write the expressions here like what you want to use. I want to take the average of it. So if you take the average, it will show the average point here. And again, you can define your segments like when it should go red, green and yellow. So accordingly you can put the values. I hope this makes sense to you. So let's select something, like select all these values. Now you can see that we have this 3 award selected and 3 values. So value 1 is red and this is green, and the value is 4 here. If you want to clear everything, just press clear and it will come back to normal. So yeah, I hope you like this video. If you did, give a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Bye.